What's up guys, my name is Marc Steiner, and today we are going through another editing walkthrough of one of my favorite edits of all time, the Roses edit with my friend Jordan, and I spent so much time on this edit, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this. As I previously stated on my last walkthrough editing video, this isn't an in-depth step-by-step editing process. This is more just a how I got from point A to point B, the final product. If you're interested in how I edit these kind of photos, I do offer one-on-one workshops. You can message me through Instagram and we can get you booked, or you can go to the link down below in my website and message me on there. All right, let's jump right into it. All right, so here we are in Lightroom, and this is what the image initially looked like before I applied any edits to this. And as you can see, it's pretty dark, it's a little bit underexposed, and colors just don't seem amazing. But I kind of knew how I wanted to edit this photo, so I definitely wanted to brighten it up, I wanted to warm it up, and I wanted to just make sure to accentuate the colors that were already in it. So this is what it looks like after some Lightroom editing, and as you can see here, we have whitened up her teeth a little bit. We've definitely pumped the blues in her eyes just to give it that beautiful look, because she has beautiful eyes. We definitely accentuated the red on the bra here, that beautiful like red lace color that I really like. It's like wine, I really like that, and especially with the light from going from light to dark on the contrast here, it looks really, really good. And then we also changed the color of her jeans here to be more bright blue, less moody blue, and we definitely wanted that like more teal looking jeans as opposed to regular blue. One thing I will note is that even though this image was shot at 85mm, when I did the lens correction for the 85mm, I felt like it wasn't flattering enough for Jordan and not quite the vibe I was going for, so I switched it to the Sony 28mm lens profile, and it just corrected it a little bit more to make it a little bit more flattening. Let me show you here. I don't know, it just looked a little bit too barrel-y for me, so I like that wider perspective that the wide angle lens correction added. So after that was all done, we moved to Photoshop. All right, so here we are in Photoshop, and you can see some of my layers right here, but we started off with the same image we had in Lightroom, and the first thing we do is dodging and burning. So as you can see here, when I turn that on, boom, night and day difference. That's going to really bring out her skin tones. As you can see, we've just cleaned everything up real nice, especially on the face. Everything looks really, really, really good. And I just really like how it looks. We also did a little bit on the hair here to just accentuate that. Those blonde highlights, I absolutely love that. We're just making sure that all these skin tones are evened out, and it looks great, especially here on the rib cage. I also did a little bit of dodging and burning to bring out the light there and then accentuate the rest of the shadows, just makes it pop a little bit more. On her arm, you can see here that we've also just smoothed everything out, and we're really accentuating that lighting as well as just smoothing out all that skin very naturally, which I like a lot. Next up, we're gonna be doing our frequency separation, and here we're just cleaning up little things. You can't see a huge difference as I turn it on and off, but there is a decent amount of difference when we're turning it on and off. And if I zoom in here, you can see on her face that just like a little bit underneath the eyes, a little bit on the nose, and a little bit on the forehead here, we're just smoothing out those colors that just the dodging burn couldn't even out. And I think that really, really helps everything. It's just those little minor details that we're bringing out that just bring the image together as a whole, and you're not necessarily seeing when it happens. Especially on the neck here, we're just getting a little bit of that shadow, and we're just gonna get rid of that, smooth it out, looks really, really good. Here on her chest as well, we're just evening out those tones, as well as under the arm, just making sure everything looks good and is clean. And then as well on the rib cage, we're just working on those little things there, and they just bring the image together as a whole. So if we zoom back out, this is where it got really, really complicated. So I did the skin retouching, and I was like, this is a great photo, but there is so much blank space on this canvas, and there needs to be something in this photo. There needs to be depth. And like, sure, we have the hand coming out, which adds depth, but I was like, there's just so much empty space, and these colors are a little bit muted. I want to add some pop of color, and I want to add depth. I want to add motion. I want to make this photo more interesting, because Jordan is an absolutely gorgeous model, but I wanted something to just make her pop. And that's where Roses came in. And I had this idea because like the red bra, Valentine's Day, it was kind of like a beautiful shoot, and I was like, you know, Roses would fit this. So I started playing with some roses, and as you can see here, we added some depth, we added some motion, just added like a little bit of things here that it's gonna make it a little bit more realistic and make it feel like actual petals were being thrown, even though we didn't have any petals. So because of that, I also started going around and doing more roses with a different form, and that just like brings the image together as a whole, and I really like that because it frames her much better. It feels like there's much more going on. It just attracts your eye to the model, to the hand, what's ever going on. It's not busy, but it's just like, wow, that's really cool, and it grabs your attention, especially with that red that matches the bra. I really love that. Fun fact about this image, between the grouped layer of roses, there were actually about 50 layers of rose petals, and whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot of work. My computer almost died while I was editing this photo, I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot to handle, especially when you're adding effects to that, color grading. It is not easy on a laptop, and I was going insane just because how much I was doing to this image. Next, we're just gonna do some contrast and sharpening. We're just gonna add that punch of color, that nice little Instagram sharpening that just brings everything out, and I really like that. Then we're gonna add our signature warm curves that everyone loves, those Marc curves. It's a subtle difference, but you can see it just brightens the image up. It takes away from that moodier contrast and sharpening that we just did. And I really like that warm curve right there. It looks really good. And then on the final layer, it's just a minor color adjustment. You can't really see it, but it's a little bit in the shadows, and it just brings it up just a bit. And that is how we got from point A to point B, from before to after. And this is one of my favorite editing images of all time. I hope that you liked this image because I had a lot of fun editing it. Alright guys, that's it for me. Let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, if you found it insightful, if you want to learn more and book an editing workshop with me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I know that you will not regret it. My name has been Marc Steiner, and I will see you next time.